street food.
This week on Street Food, sports.
And he's in for a touchdown! Gators!
Not really, but we are going to talk about Gators. Last week, when we were hanging out in Palatka with Chuck and Carolyn, Chuck kept talking about Gainesville.
Pause, time out. You got a little trouble on your first, honey.
It's nice to see the food scene in Gainesville growing as the city grows. You know, they're really trying hard to make it a town of innovation and make it really startup friendly and kind of keep the talent that comes through the university in Gainesville.
Gainesville, home to the University of Florida, aka the Florida Gators. Y'all want to know about Gators in Florida? This joke is for real. Just search YouTube for some more examples. Back to the Gainesville Tourism Board.
It's a really exciting, growing city. There's a craft coffee. They've started a food truck rally thing that we really want to do.
All that talk made me want to give Gainesville a try, and they happen to host a food truck rally every 6 weeks at a bar called High Dive.
There's a really cool brewery in town called First Magnitude.
It's enough, Chuck, okay? You had me at food truck rally.
I'm very invested in the city.
A rally is a great way to experience food trucks, but here's what you need to know. You're not going to be able to try it all. Take your time, see what other people get, ask them if it's good. Also, go with your friends so you can try a lot of stuff and share it if you're into that. I know some of y'all are germaphobes out there, although if you're that much of a germaphobe, you're probably not watching my show. Another thing about rallies, if you wait too long, sometimes they run out of the good stuff. Especially if it's crowded. These are just some things to keep in mind if you venture into food truckage via a food truck rally. Just not gotta drive to Gainesville.
After 3/4 of a mile, turn right.
Florida has a bunch of little roads that take you the back way, like through the swamps and whatnot. Sometimes you just gotta trust your phone. Gainesville is a college town. Since he is clearly drunk of the college town Gatorade, I asked Chuck for the pros and cons of living in a college town.
Big pro of living in a college town. The city is constantly trying to be relevant to young people, so there's always a lot of really interesting music acts and theatrical acts, a lot of culture, just kind of progressive, future-thinking thought, which is really a nice thing and something you definitely don't get in most northern Florida towns. The biggest con is all those young people that go with it. Totally change your focus of all those things that you did when you were in college and you thought it was really cool. You know, in your 30s, you're like, oh man, I was just acting the fool. Having to face your own mortality every time you go out to dinner and go, we're so old. It's so very, very old.
Let's ignore our own mortality and eat some snacks. The Gainesville rally sported 10 local trucks, including the following. Snowy, saw him at the Blue Crab last week. Cilantro Taco, Humble Pie, which is a pizza truck. You can eat outside, but High Dive lets you bring the food in, so you can catch some live music, you can shout at each other over the din of conversation throughout the place. Win, win, win. Everybody wins. Chuck had a mac and cheese melt with bacon on it from soup to nuts. He liked it a lot. I tried their vegan chili and found it to be more of a vegetable bean soup. Not my favorite, but also not terrible. We went to Off the Griddle and got some fried Brussels sprouts to share. They were sliced, deep fried, and tossed with balsamic vinegar and feta. I really like the mixture of those flavors. Off the Griddle had a very wide selection. Actually, that's something I noticed about most of the trucks at the rally. I'm used to like 5 to 8 options max. Many of the trucks had more than 20. A lot of vegan, vegetarian options. It made choosing what to get that much harder. I finally tried a lobster roll from Monsta Lobsta. I don't know what these are supposed to taste like, okay? If you're a lobster roll fan, let me know in the comments. It's basically a cold lobster salad. Maybe they fill it out with some imitation crab meat, but really big chunks of lobster. The salad had a bit of like a spicy kick to it, which I quite liked. Lobster rolls are on the list of Lonely Planet's essential American street foods. Now, I don't know if these are traditional or not, but I liked them. Show my buddy Chuck some love in the comments below, and if you've ever lived in a college town, let me know what stands out about it to you. Next week, maybe the most Southern American food on the planet. Talking about barbecue pork. Until then, eat it on the street. Watch out for the parasites.
Street food.
Turn right onto County Road 315B.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if you know what you're talking about, Cortana, because you had done just led me astray. You know, it's ironic. I recorded that thing about trusting your phone right after that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm turning right. Ironically, after I record...
After half a mile, turn right.
Yeah, we'll see what you know. Down some dirt roads, but I did see a wild peacock, or at least...
After 1/4 of a mile, turn right onto County Road 315.
I mean, I did see a wild peacock, or maybe a tame peacock, but it had run loose down the dirt road, so maybe Cortana just knew that and knew I wanted to see a peacock.
Turn right.
I'm turning right.